Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to be starting off a book study and a book called Who Was Nelson Mandela? If you go to Unit 5, Lesson 9, April 21st, you are on this page, you go to click on Files, and you should have the file right there. This is going to be the book that you're going to be using for this unit. So in this book, it's going to have basically all the pages for the book. So you're going to scroll down, and it's going to start off Who Was Nelson Mandela? And it keeps moving. Make sure again that you download the file. Again, we're going to be utilizing this for a couple of days for this unit. Your assignment is going to be posted in general. What I want to do first before I go over the book, I'm going to go over the questions because I want to be strategic about the way you're going to respond. This is going to be for a grade. So there's a total of 10 short responses based on the text. First question is asking, how was Rohaila's life similar to Nia's, and how is it different? Okay, notice that there's two questions. Okay, how are they similar? So you need to identify something similar, and how is different. Also, what I stress, guys, I need you guys to answer complete sentences. Some of you guys answer it in just one or two words. Okay, I mean, I kind of glance what you're trying to say, but that doesn't help me get a concrete response from you to see if you actually got the correct the question correct. Okay, so again, make sure that you address those two parts of the question. For the next one right here, consider three is the Europeans' influence. That means change. Okay, Rahala's life. Give specific evidence. You've been doing this in English to support your claims in the organizer below. So make sure that you write three ways. Okay, so you can write, for example, I don't know, like we can talk like what we talked about last week. European colonization. Right now Africa has a poor healthcare system. Evidence, you can go back in history where you can see that due to the economic oppression from Europeans, that's what happened. Okay, and then you write the page number. Okay, so make sure that you have page numbers. Okay, so write down how her life changed. Okay, and how did based on the Europeans' influence, and make sure that you note your evidence. Okay, evidence and the page number. You need to have at least three, okay, to get full credit. Okay. 3. What did the tribal leader mean when he said, among these young men are chiefs who will never rule because we have no power to govern ourselves? So make sure that you read thoroughly before this part. Don't just read the quote right here. Look through the text, read the before to get context about the reason why the tribal leader will say that. 4. How many colleges could Nelson apply to? And what do you think that was? So make sure that you write your answer, and then you support this with evidence and page number. For 5, Nelson was adopted by a rich man. How did being wealthy shape Nelson's life? Okay, what opportunities did he have that he might not have as a poor boy? So think about Mustala when we had the question about should Mustala move away from the country? The same thing. Like how did Nelson's life with being in a wealthy background, how did that give him more opportunities? Okay. For question 6, how did education change Nelson's life? Think about GDP. HDI. We have those three indicators: GDP, life expectancy, and literacy rates. Okay, and how does literacy rate applies to that? Okay, what are the benefits of an education? For question 7, Nelson is surprised by the electricity in the big city of Johannesburg. What does it tell us about the area where he grew up? So why would he be reacting with surprise with electricity? And I know this is like a common thing that we have here, but why would that be something surprising for Nelson? For 8, why did Nelson want to be a lawyer? Use evidence from the text to support your claim. Okay, so we just find it in the text. What was the main reason? What's the rationale behind him being a lawyer? What can he do being a lawyer? Make sure you find evidence. Okay, that you make sure the evidence is typed. You type the quote from the page and then page number. Okay, 9. What was the purpose of the ANC, the African National Congress? Very straightforward. And then 10. What was apartheid? Okay, this will be very similar to what happened in the United States during the Civil Rights Movement. Okay, so those are just the expectations for the questions. Make sure they answer thorough. Again, this will be your assignment for today.